everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video is another Jenga video, and I know I'm going a little ham with the Jenga videos. So today we are making a Jenga chandelier. Originally I wanted to make this using a hula hoop and make it look like a wheelbarrow, but hula hoops and lanterns aren't really available at the same time of year. So I figured we can still get the wood look by using real wood Jenga pieces, and it might not be round, but it still looks really cool. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoy this video and stick around by subscribing to this channel. Once you hit that subscribe button, we instantly become best friends.
Did we just become best friends? Yep!
And please hit that notification bell so you know every time I post a video. Let's go ahead and get started.
For this project, I'm going to be using Dollar Tree's Tumbling Tower game. I only use 2 boxes, but I always buy extra. I'm also going to be using Dollar Tree's lanterns. Before you leave the store, make sure that they are functioning. Now I am going to take mine apart because I want to paint them a different color, and to do that it is so easy. You just pull from the bottom and everything just comes apart. I saved the little globes because obviously I don't want to spray paint them, but I'm going to spray paint everything including the candle, and I'm going to cover that up using painter's tape. To take this project to the next level and make your life easier, I highly recommend buying separate candles that are remote control. I purchased some remote control tea lights on Amazon. I'll link those below. They didn't get here in time for the project, but I've used the same brand and they're excellent. I spray painted everything Rust-Oleum's metallic gold. It's a little cold to paint outside, so I did it in my garage with the garage door open. And once everything was dry, I put it all together. It's really easy. You just want to make sure that your little globe is together and that you're aligning these little notches right here with this piece on your lantern. If you don't align it, it just kind of falls apart, so make sure everything is nice and aligned. You're going to take apart your candle, and then you're going to put the flame part in first before sliding it in. If you do order remote control tea lights on Amazon, they might be a little smaller or a little bigger, but you can glue this in place with no issue. Then you're going to add your handle, and you're going to snap the top back in. Make sure you start from the top and work your way to the bottom. Once it's snapped into place, I'm going to use my Dollar Tree sanding sponge. You can use regular sanding paper, and I'm just going to scuff everything up so that it looks a little weathered and doesn't look as shiny. You don't have to do this. You can keep yours the original color, but this is how I wanted mine to look, and that's how I got the distressed look. This is what all of them look like, and I used 8 in total. And next, I'm going to make the actual frame using the Dollar Tree Jenga pieces. I used 2 boxes, but I always buy extra, and you'll see why. A lot of them have writing on them, or they're just broken. As you can see, this one is chipped at the end. And for this project, you want to make sure that everything fits perfectly. You can skip this step and just go to Home Depot or Lowe's and have wood cut down. But I am challenging myself to make this out of all Dollar Tree, so I am using my Jenga pieces. So I'm using a ruler to align everything, and I'm going to use Gorilla Wood Glue and a popsicle stick. I don't like using the nozzle because it just pours a little bit too much, and I really don't want my wood glue seeping out because it's a little hard to stain. So I'm just adding it to the edges and pressing it up until I get the row that I want. And I ended up using 13 pieces for this. Now I'm gonna double this up to make it a little wider. So I'm gonna grab my popsicle stick and add wood glue to the top and the side. I don't know why I didn't show it here, but I do add some to the side. There you go. I don't want to bore you and show you 15 minutes of me gluing things together. Basically, I just did this all the way down until I got my complete row, and the entire thing ended up being 13 pieces on the top, 13 at the bottom, so 26 pieces in total. And now I'm going to grab my ruler, place that in front of that to save some time, and build my next row. Before I do that, I always lay out my Jenga to make sure that they fit perfectly, and then I glue them together. You're going to notice glue seeping out, and that's okay. Don't wipe it away. You're going to sand that off, and it's a lot easier to sand when it's in chunks like that. For the side, I did a row of 6 double, so that's 12 pieces, and I did 2 of those so I can make a perfect little box. And I'm going to use my sanding sponge to go ahead and sand that away. If you have an orbital sander, you can go ahead and use that, or you can just use regular sanding paper. It's up to you and what you have in your home. After I was done sanding everything, I did make sure that all of my pieces were sturdy and stuck together, even though this Gorilla Wood glue is no joke. And now I'm going to assemble, so I'm going to use a little bit of painter's tape and my square tool, and I'm just going to line everything up and attach them using my Gorilla Wood glue and my popsicle stick. For this, I did end up adding a generous amount of wood glue because I want to make sure that everything is nice and secure, but later on I do reinforce the entire thing. I moved my square tool to the other side to make sure that everything is nice and straight, and I made sure to add glue to both sides of my side piece. Now I added my painter's tape to the side. Since we don't have clamps or anything to keep it in place, painter's tape is the best I can do, and that is also from Dollar Tree. So now I'm going to let it dry completely, and now that it is completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce it using my Dollar Tree picture hanging kit. And this is perfect because not only does it bring nails, but it also brings these little hooks, which we're going to use to actually hold up the entire thing and to place our lanterns on. So I actually got 2 of these picture frame kits. I put my frame on its side, and I want to add 2 nails right here to hold these 2 pieces. Now I'm going to use my drill for this just to make a little pilot hole and make my life a little easier. You want to make sure that you go slow so you don't split the wood. You can also just hammer it in, but I thought this was a whole lot easier, making a really shallow pilot hole and then hammering that in. So I'm going to do this all the way around and making sure to do this to both my Jenga pieces. You don't have to do this. I'm telling you, the wood glue is definitely strong enough, but I wanted to make sure mine was nice and secure in case I wanted to hang something a little heavier other than the Dollar Tree lanterns. I did this to all 4 of my corners where my sides meet. And again, you really don't have to use a drill, but I just thought this would save me a lot of time and a lot of hammering, so I did it this way. Now that all 4 of my sides are done, I'm going to make more pilot holes on the top of those 4 corners so that I can add my hooks, which are going to hold the whole thing up. So for this, the pilot hole is going to hold this little thing. This is really thin, so I want to make sure that my hole is extremely shallow. You want to be able to screw in that little hook, and if you go too deep, you won't be able to. So I'm going to take this off because I want to go ahead and do this all after it's stained. I did the 4 pilot holes on each of my top corners. And once those are done, I want to go ahead and move on to the pilot holes that are going to hold my lanterns together. So this is where I marked it. I did it on the 2nd Jenga, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th Jenga, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th Jenga. So the second one going in on each side and then the middle. Then I went ahead and did the middle Jenga right here, so the 3rd Jenga piece. I'm going to go ahead and make my little marking, and I know that's not centered. And on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing, 1, 2. Then the 7th Jenga piece, and I'm going to do the marking right in the middle of that. And then the 12th Jenga piece, which is the second one, going in. Then on the other side, I'm going to go ahead and do the marking on the 3rd Jenga piece. And this is what everything should look like. Sorry for being so repetitive. So once you have all of your markings, you're going to make really shallow pilot holes. Be really careful when doing this and make sure that you're drilling really slow. It looks like I'm drilling really fast because I have everything sped up, but trust me, it is really slow and really shallow. I am going to have to open up some of my hooks, the ones that are holding the lanterns. So I just took some pliers and I just pulled it apart. It came apart easily. And this is so my lantern fits right in there perfectly. Before I add that, I am going to stain everything, and I'm going to use Minwax. I know it's not Dollar Tree. You can use Dollar Tree shoe polish, but unfortunately I can't find any in my stores. I'm using a Dollar Tree brush just to brush that on, but you can use a rag, paper towel, whatever your heart desires, and I'm making sure that I cover everything because all parts of this frame are going to be visible. Now that everything is dry, I'm going to go ahead and screw in my hooks. The ones that I didn't open up are going to go on the top, and I'm just going to screw that in until it's all the way down. And I did that all the way around, and I also added the ones right here. Those are facing up so that I can place my lanterns right in there. So once I have everything in place, this is what it should look like. To be able to hold this up, I ended up using 2 dog tie cables. You find this in the dog section. I really don't agree with this product, but for this, it's perfect. Also ended up using one of the Dollar Tree book rings just to hold it all together. I added 1 tie to each side of the frame, and I hadn't painted mine yet because I wasn't sure if I wanted to paint it black to look like iron or gold and distress it, but you can paint it whatever color you'd like. I ended up using the book ring to gather it together and be able to suspend it, and once it was suspended, I added my lanterns. Now don't forget, you can also order the Tealights from Amazon that are remote controlled so that you don't have to turn these on manually every time you want to use this. Once you're done, bam, you have a gorgeous and affordable wood lantern chandelier. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. Till next time.